Japan may have just created the next big thing in live entertainment, and I was one of the first people on the entire planet to get to experience it. By the end of the night, I would end up being interviewed on camera by 3 different press junkets. I was quoted in articles and featured on news websites around the globe. Why? Because I was one of the first ever passengers to ride Japan's brand new zombie Shinkansen. Most likely you're familiar with the Shinkansen. It's Japan's bullet train, and it is one of the most sophisticated train systems in the entire world. At their peak, they can reach speeds of 320 kilometers or just under 200 miles per hour. Our ride would be billed as the world's first ever haunted house on a running Shinkansen, and it would be making just one single 2.5-hour journey from Tokyo to Osaka, the 2 biggest cities in all of Japan. Stick with me, I'm gonna tell you all about the various spooky segments of the zombie train ride, how you can get tickets for next time, if I felt like it was worth the price of admission, and how the heck I even ended up there in the first place. I applied to take part a couple weeks in advance. My friend Caroline, who you might remember from my Peru videos, knew I was spending the month in Tokyo and sent me the link after she saw someone hyping it up on Instagram. And I was for sure interested, but there was a catch. Space was very limited and many people were applying to take part. I figured I had about a 0% chance of being one of the lucky few who were actually granted a ticket. But then a few days later, I got the email. I was in. And before I knew it, the day of my journey had arrived and I was off to Tokyo Station, zombie ticket in hand.
I'm here, I made it on time, and I'm about to board a zombie Shinkansen. This is crazy.
All 40 of us met at a designated meeting point within the station where we were herded into a big group by the organizers. From there, we went through some secret back passageway, which led us to the special car at the front of the train. We dropped our bags and got settled into our seats, and I was starting to feel like I won the lottery because they closed the doors and there was no one sitting in the seat next to me. Like, did someone just not show up? How did this happen? But that excitement was short-lived because just after we started moving, I finally got a partner in the next seat. The thing is, he wasn't just any partner. This partner was wearing sunglasses and a hood and a mask. That's when I knew, not only did I somehow make it aboard Japan's first ever zombie Shinkansen, but I also had the best seat in the house. The train pulled away from Tokyo Station, and for the first 5 minutes or so, we all just eagerly sat and waited for the show to begin. And then it happened. After that, all hell broke loose. Zombies everywhere. Zombies up and down the aisles. Zombies just tripping over each other. They were just all around hungry as f*** for brains. About 10 minutes later, the zombies made their way off the train car, but there was still about 2 hours left on the train ride. Was it over? What happens now? I'll tell you. It was most definitely not over. And what would come next would be some of the most creative uses of zombies that anyone could possibly imagine, and it would last for the entire duration of the train ride. So at this point, anyone's first thought would be, this is all great, but are we really just gonna watch zombies wander through the aisles for 2.5 hours straight? I mean, that's what I was thinking. But no, that was absolutely not the case. You know when I knew? When these zombies walked in. These are high school zombies. There are cheerleaders, there are baseball players, there's a catcher. I mean, these two are literally passing a heart back and forth between them. I mean, it was actually pretty funny. And that's when it finally clicked. It's a variety show. The journey in total would consist of 13 segments of approximately 10 minutes each. That included zombies doing, well, just about anything you can think of. So, if you'll allow me, I've put together a little spooky zombie montage so you can enjoy just a little taste of each one of the 13 different segments that I got to experience on my journey from Tokyo to Osaka on the first ever zombie Shinkansen train. We gave a large round of applause and we grabbed our bags as we pulled into Osaka Station. By the way, let me just say that I love Osaka so much. It's become one of my favorite cities in the world, and I have a great video about it coming out really soon. So I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and tap the bell so that you're notified not only about that video, but about my entire upcoming Japan series as well. So what did I think of the ride? Was it worth it? And how can you go? Okay, so firstly, let me give an honest review. I promise you that I haven't been paid in any way by anyone who is a part of this, so you can trust that my opinion is real. No sponsorship here. I think on the whole, the show was super enjoyable. Huge bonus points and added difficulty for taking place on a moving vehicle. For this particular show, I think some of the 13 segments were better than others. While they may not play to the camera as well, I think that the segments that took place totally in the dark were absolutely the most frightening. Aside from the scary elements, the clown magic show was also really fun, and so was the thriller dance segment. I will say that the more character-driven segments, like the grandmas, like the influencers, like the VIP bottle service, were just okay. But what about the value in relation to the cost? For this particular journey, there were two pricing tiers, a standard ticket and a premium ticket. The standard went for 33,000 yen or about 220 US dollars. The premium was 50,000 yen or 333 US dollars. Now, that's a pretty penny. However, the price for a standard ticket between these two cities with no zombies at all costs around 90 US dollars by itself, so it is important to take that into account. Now, I can't speak to the premium because I didn't ride premium, but from what I could tell, it definitely didn't seem like it was worth an additional $113 from what I paid. That said, I do think it is absolutely a one-of-a-kind, totally unique experience, especially if you're already planning to go from one city to the other. So, how can you take part in this experience? Well, since I'm not affiliated with the company in any way, I'm not 100% sure, but I do have a theory. This was the one and only zombie Shinkansen ride this year. However, it's my guess that if this proved to be successful, that they'll tweak it a little bit and establish it as an option again for some number of performances for next year's Halloween season. My thought is that this year they invited a ton of press and influencers aboard to get the word out there, and that next year it'll be much more accessible to the regular public. I have no evidence to back that up, don't quote me on that. In fact, it could all just be a one-time publicity stunt, but that is my educated guess. It's hard to find anything completely new to do these days. And so to have been one of only a few people to have the opportunity to take part in a brand new venue for entertainment was truly an honor, and I am so grateful to have had the chance.